Now here's some news that is music to my ears. Now, it's a game that I bought on multiple platforms, multiple times over, allegedly coming to platforms that I don't own and don't really desire to own anytime soon. But yes, the fact that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going to be coming available to more people, putting this tremendous game into more people's hands, I'm just going to go ahead and count this as a win. And especially with TGS coming up, Tokyo Game Show coming up at the end of the month, and this really seems like an announcement that Square Enix could make ahead of another announcement they could make in a couple of months' time. I mean, I'm very excited about this, okay, to be completely honest. So yes, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will release on Xbox and Switch 2 in 2026, according to a very reliable source. Final Fantasy VII's Remake trilogy fans have been wondering when the next installments will be released on other platforms. Yes, as the multi-platform strategy has been implemented, because yes, last year we got confirmation, especially from Square Enix, when they admitted, yeah, this whole console exclusivity thing is kind of for the birds. So we're just going to go ahead and get as multi-platform as possible. And it took them a while for Remake Part 1 to find its way over to Xbox and over to Nintendo as well. And even still, its PC port originally having to be exclusively played on the Epic Game Store before it eventually came over to Steam. They decided to do away with that with Rebirth because, what was it, less than a year it came out on PC. It did extremely well on Steam because once the game got into people's hands, they could go ahead and cut through all of the bullshit when it comes to talking about this game, because there's just so many people that are going, oh my god, my ethics department at Square Enix, oh, the game's woke. Like, I can't even stomach those conversations anymore. It's just, tell me you've never played the game without telling me you've never played the game. But yes, Square Enix wants to launch their products on as many platforms as will have them. We've seen that with a lot of the remasters and remakes that they have released this year, just multi-platform on everywhere that'll have them. But yes, a couple of the big games that are on the horizon for them, some of their big franchises continuing, it'll be interesting to see what their release window looks like, which platforms they're going to be on, because you see here, okay, so we already knew that the trilogy would be making its way to Nintendo Switch 2, and it's only a question of when. However, we also knew that it was coming to Xbox, and the second part of the Remake trilogy could arrive on both platforms in 2026. The fact that they're trying to keep, or rather, trying to get every platform caught up to speed as quickly as possible, it inspires a lot of hope, okay? But let's talk about these ports here. The information for Rebirth's release window for the Switch 2 and Xbox comes from notable insider Nate the Hate 2. Yeah, he's the guy who scoops a lot of information in regards to the Switch, and he's been insanely accurate, okay? Nate recently responded to a comment on Rebirth's performance on the Switch 2 on the recent Reddit post about Switch Force, hinting that 3 mysterious 7 games will be a part of the next Nintendo Direct. Interesting, a port of the original Rebirth and probably Crisis Core? I would imagine so, right? Rebirth is coming to Switch 2 and Xbox in 2026, and that's when players will know how it runs on that platform. Xbox Game Showcase in 2025 was a good day for Final Fantasy fans when the other platform. Not only was Final Fantasy 16 Shadow dropped, I hope nobody played that, just for your mental sanity. That fucking game sucks a dick. And we also received confirmation that 7 Remake will arrive on Xbox in the winter of 2025. However, we have not received a release date for the title. I would imagine because Xbox has a big show planned for TGS, that seems like a very likely place for that announcement as well. Like, hey, this is coming in the winter, and then by the spring, or hell, maybe even a few weeks later, you'll be able to play Rebirth. If Remake is dropping in November, Rebirth will drop in January. But yes, Remake Integrated will arrive on the Switch 2 in winter of 25 as well. Additionally, a Square Enix producer recently discussed Final Fantasy 17 and turn-based combat. Yeah, we've talked about that as well. But yes, seeing all of these games all catch up, man, it really does make me think that, with Square Enix's acceptance of a multi-platform release for their big titles, I mean, you couple that with Final Fantasy VII Part 3 may receive updates soon, according to co-director Matomo Toriyama. And this is some news that came out a little while ago, and it's like, I'm really thinking, man, I thought that there was an outside chance, okay, that we might get something because it's Summer Games Fest 2022. We got the first look at Rebirth, and so probably at the Game Awards, I think that there's a better than not chance it gets announced or some information comes out about this, and we might get a loose release window, given that the 30th anniversary anniversary for Final Fantasy VII will be 2027. Much as I want this game next year, might end up having to wait a little longer, but whenever I talk about these games, well, yeah, Remake and Rebirth, and especially now that I'm just stuck in the doldrums of Final Fantasy 15, it's... I talked about this earlier this week. It's a perfectly competent game, and it has a lot of things to like, but Christ almighty, is it just a fucking sterile experience. I miss engaging characters. I miss fun combat. And so I'm really wanting to play through Remake and Rebirth again on PC. It's getting right to the front of my mind, especially when I start to hear Nomura talk about an update for Part 3 and even Kingdom Hearts 4, because I kind of do want to run back through the Kingdom Hearts games. It's been a very long time. It's been a very long time since I've done that, mostly because 3 was just so abysmal. But knowing that, you know, Kingdom Hearts 4, a game that has been announced for quite a long time at this point, we haven't really got any updates on that. But if he's given updates on Remake Part 3, I mean, I think we're getting an announcement here towards the end of the year. I'm just about certain. Fans of Square Enix's biggest franchises received some long-awaited reassurances this week during a live stream celebrating the second anniversary of Ever Crisis. I wonder if there's an update on that Sephiroth story, because that shit's actually really interesting. Creative Director, yes, Tetsuya Nomura, addressed questions about both Remake Part 3 and Kingdom Hearts 4. What did he have to say? Well, let's go with Kingdom Hearts 4 first. Okay, so Nomura also took a moment to address the status of Kingdom Hearts 4. His comments were short, but they hit the right notes for the fan base, often left wondering about, you know, the coherency of the plotline. Oh, I'm sorry, long development cycles. Yup. Kingdom Hearts 4 is likewise steadily moving forward according to schedule, so please look forward to it. First announced in 2022, the game marks the beginning of the Lost Master arc, yes, in the Kingdom Hearts storyline, though details remain scarce. Yeah, Nomura's actually, like, fully in charge on this. Meanwhile, he's just the narrative director, or at least that was his position for Rebirth, and then ultimately for Part 3. I still think it's going to be called Reclaim, but I will elaborate on that in the future. But the most exciting moment of the live stream came when Nomura discussed the progress on the third and final chapter of the Remake trilogy. It's going very smoothly. The announcement timing has been decided. It's the Game Award. Oh, I'm so excited. And we will stick to that schedule, so please rest assured and wait, because yeah, that was one thing that Nomura has talked about quite a lot. Okay, back in 2013 when the remake was first announced, he said on multiple occasions that was way too early to announce that project. Okay, they were still working on it. Fuck, even CyberConnect 2 was still working on it at that point. And it wasn't until, oh god, when did they scrap all production on that? Like 2017, and brought it in-house. And it wasn't until like really late in the development they poached Teruyuki Endo over from Capcom to do the battle mechanics, and he did an excellent job, and I think he only had like a year, maybe even less than a year, to make the combat system work. And then ultimately, you know, when he had a full development cycle on Rebirth, he blew it out of the water. That game is so much fun to play. It's such a joy. But yes, it follows earlier confirmation of the scenario for Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 was completed by the end of 2024. Yeah, what was it? In like April of 24. It was right after I was done with my first playthrough of Remake. I'm sorry, of Rebirth, rather. That Nomura was talking about. The treatment was done. Okay, we're assembling the voice acting cast. We're getting some things together, but yeah, by the end of 2024, it was all done with full development beginning soon after Rebirth shipped. Yeah, but they've already been working on it for a long time. Okay, so co-director Naoki Hamaguchi has also assured fans that the project is making great progress. And yeah, you know, a lot of credit has to go to that guy, because holy shit, even the entire team, okay? What he has talked about previously, and I've discussed before, is most of the development team, like a not insignificant amount, like 80 to 90% of the team has carried over from Remake to Rebirth and then to Part 3 as well. You just don't get that. You don't get that with such a big development team like this. While no release date has been announced, wait till December. Nomura's statement indicates that Square Enix already has a clear roadmap in place for the game's reveal. Fuck! Oh, I'm so excited. So as for Square Enix, communication has always been a double-edged sword. Fans love to hear from Nomura, but the director's reputation for complex timelines and delayed projects has made some wary. Yeah, in the case of like Kingdom Hearts 4, I mean, at this point in time, I wouldn't be surprised, right? Because people were theorizing back in 2024. It's like, okay, when are we going to be getting Part 3? How long is this going to take? We know that it's going to be an enormous game. You got the High Wind. You got 2 more continents to go visit. You got, and if you're adapting the first game, or if you're adapting the original game, like you basically did with Rebirth, you've got so much of the story. You've got so much of the plot. You've got 2 additional, potentially 3 additional characters to be adding to your party into the third game. How fucking long is this gonna take? It could very well end up being that, yeah, okay, we don't get our hands on part 3 until 27 or 28, and, probably, depending on this development cycle, we'll probably get Kingdom Hearts, in 26 or something like that, but that really doesn't seem like the case at this point. It kind of seems like, yeah, we're gonna be wrapping up the Remake trilogy before we get Kingdom Hearts 4 to kick off a new arc, which is fine by me as somebody who has been a lifelong Kingdom Hearts fan. Okay, I got the the Black Spine 2002 PS2 release of Kingdom Hearts. Okay, I played through the original game. God, it's one of my most played through games. Okay, and then Kingdom Hearts 2 I still think is fantastic. It's probably in my top 10. Might even be in my top 5 favorite games if I'm being completely honest. I really like 2. And so if he can recover a bit with Kingdom Hearts 4, I mean, I'm still going to be interested and I'm still going to play it. But yes, long story short, Final Fantasy VII A Remake Part 3 is not only in development, but progressing quite smoothly. The reveal date is set, and yes, Kingdom Hearts 4 continues to advance on schedule without any signs of trouble. And yes, so you go ahead and you wrap all of those comments together, and then also the Remake trilogy being caught up to date on every other available platform. It's really pointing towards an announcement towards the end of the year, and I can't fucking wait. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.